for our unexpected guest that we don't know about. Ooh, sorry. Oh my god. Alright, let's clean the couches, I guess. Look at him, all ready for dinner. Oh, never mind. He's done. He's done. He's like, no, Mom, I'm not waiting for you anymore. Okay. If I remember correctly, the hamper's a mess again. Yep, after, like, not even a day. What are these people go, like, their clothes, like, 3 times a day? How do they do this? Oh my god. Oh, that sneeze, though. I wonder if, time's gonna stop right before 8:30. I don't know. We'll have to see. I figured I'd start cooking at like 8 or something. Or 8:20. So let's just see. Let's wait around. Yep, time stopped. Cool. Let's have a meal ready. Ooh. Should I do a culinary? No, let's do a chef. We'll do... You know what? Fuck it. Let's do Master Chef. Let's do... Let's do a chicken marsala. Let's try this. Alright. It seems like forever ago I was trying to like get this perfect. Now look at me, not giving a shit. That's not true, I still give a shit, but just like not as much of a shit. The rice is gonna have to go in there, I think, right? Yeah. Put this in here, put this in here, put this in here. Stir, stir, stir. Stir, stir, stir. Yeah. Pop these mushrooms in here. Stir, stir, stir. Did I ever have trouble with this one? I feel like I should look back and check because, like, I feel like this was actually pretty easy peasy. I mean, am I wrong? Like, I still have more than 20 seconds left and this is the last bit. Do-do-do-do-do. There you go, chicken marsala, perfect. A+, served. Let's see what the surprise is. $8:30. Honey, I'm home. Oh, someone's knocking. Alright, calm the fuck down.
Hey, I'm home. Just in time for dinner, right?
Is he drunk? Why was he knocking?
You've really outdone yourself with this meal, honey.
Really? I don't even have anything! This is so mean! Lance passed your sweet, but it really wasn't that much trouble. If you're trying to soften me up for something, it's not working. It's just a little something I whipped up for dinner, nothing special.
Well, it's very good. And I wanted to let you know I appreciate it. I don't want you to think I take you for granted.
So, hey, since you guys are busy actually getting along for once, I'm gonna head out with some friends for a bit. Don't let me interrupt the flow, though.
Okay, see ya.
You're just gonna let him go like that? Don't you think you should get some details from him first, Science Pass? If it doesn't bother you, then I guess it doesn't bother me either.
Why would I have a problem with it? He's a good kid. He knows not to stay out too late, right?
Right. Thanks, Dad. Catch you guys later.
Bye, Nick Carter. Be safe. Lance Bass, what are you doing? Why did you just let him leave like that?
The sooner he leaves, the sooner we can talk. I don't know how you got a hold of my safe, but I feel like you deserve an explanation.
Oh, here it comes.
The woman in the photograph was a former patient of mine, and the journal was what I used to track her progress. She was also suffering memory loss, and that's why you found the documents on amnesia in there as well. She died under my care, and I promised to never let myself forget that.
That's a reasonable story, if you're telling the truth. Oh, that's so sad. Why didn't you tell me? I just assumed the worst about you up until now.
And the sonogram was from when you were pregnant with our son. I couldn't bring myself to get rid of it. I guess I'm an old softie.
Why do I not believe him?
You know me. I can be pretty emotionally over-controlled. So I'm sorry I freaked out when you went through my safe. Not that I don't have a right to be angry.
You certainly did, but now I understand the reasons you acted that way. Defensive is one word to describe it, obnoxious is another. The way you behaved was atrocious, but now that you've explained yourself, I suppose we can put it behind us.
I still believe I was correct in trying to keep you away from Vincent and Eric, though. I don't trust either of those guys one bit. Did you know he had the nerve to come into my office the other day asking about you?
If he did, I'm sure it was for a good reason. No, he didn't tell me that. Come on, Lance Bass, he was probably just investigating a case. I'm sure it was a coincidence.
No, it was no coincidence. He was specifically asking about you.
I'm still sure there's a reasonable explanation. You really shouldn't jump to conclusions. Oh, that's strange. Such a weird thing for him to do. He's probably had a good reason to keep you in the dark.
And as for Vincent Corsetti, don't even get me started. When Eric came into the office, he pretty much said the man has friends in low places, that he's a high-ranking member of the mob. I couldn't believe it, but who am I to question an FIB agent? Tell me, is this the kind of person you want to be friends with? At any given moment, you could say the wrong thing to him and get yourself whacked.
Who says I'm friends with him? I never knew that. This changes everything. You know, I had my suspicions about him, too. There was always something about that man that was unsettling, and now I know what.
I hope that clears everything up for you.
Actually, I think I'm more confused now than ever. Not really, but it's better than nothing. I guess you could say that. Oh, no. Oh, it's Eric.
You should probably answer that. I'll clean up here.
Oh, how nice. You'll probably just put it in the dishwasher and make me wash everything. Sure, I wasn't expecting anyone to come by tonight other than you, of course. Okay, thanks. I wonder who it could be. That's so sweet of you, dear. Apparently I'm answering the door myself. Couldn't I go a little bit faster? I can't even speed things up? Are you fucking kidding? This is weird. Alright, alright. Stop knocking!
Excellent, I'm glad you're home. I tried to get through to you earlier, but your phone was busy.
You have great timing, Eric. I was just about to be bored to death by my husband. Eric, you stopped by in the middle of dinner with my family. It's the first family dinner we've had in a while, you know. I really wish I could talk, but right now it's not exactly the best time for me.
I'm sorry for coming over at a bad time, but what I have to tell you can't wait. Trust me, you're going to want to hear this.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Hey, I didn't know what you wanted me to do with the leftover. Oh, it's you. What do you want?
I just stopped by to say hello to an old friend of mine. I assume you don't have a problem with that.
I'm on to you, Mr. Larson. Are you trying to turn my own family against me?
What are you talking about?
Okay, everyone calm down. Eric, whatever it is you wanted to talk about will have to wait. My husband and I are spending some personal time together tonight. Eric, couldn't you just drop the cloak and dagger stuff and leave a message on my answering machine like a normal person? I think it would be best if you left now, Eric. We'll talk about this tomorrow.
Hey, you don't have to tell me twice. I'll get in touch with you another time. Good night.
Good riddance. Goodbye. Good night.
So tell me, what was he really doing here?
He said he had something to tell me. I don't know. What's it to you?
A few minutes ago, I opened myself up to you, and you're already keeping secrets from me. This is unbelievable.
Really? You're the one who's... I know you're carrying a secret with you. You're not being truthful at all.
What's with you?
In any relationship, conflict is inevitable. Whether it be the simple act of more than one person wanting the same thing, or more complicated needs among friends and neighbors. Conflict surrounds us all. But when it comes to the severity of consequences, the battles between a husband and a wife
Ha.
leave them all behind. Over the years, I've learned the hard way that there are no simple choices in life. Since my departure, things seem to have gotten even more complicated for my friends on Wisteria Lane, as well as my newest neighbor. Indeed, making a choice between the status quo, the chance to live on the edge, or to rekindle a long-lost passion is a difficult and complicated affair. But sometimes we find ourselves with no other option than to make a choice.
What the fuck is going on?
And we can find the very decision liberating in and of itself.
Look who's here. So glad you could finally join us. I'd offer you a seat, but Eric and your husband took the last 2 chairs.
What the hell is this? What's going on here? Vincent, Eric, what are you two doing here? What did you do to them?
Not much. I was just strolling through the neighborhood. Ran into these 2. I figured the 4 of us could have a nice little chat.
A gun-toting madman has tied up my friends and family. You'll have to forgive me if I'm not in a very talkative mood. That's not funny, Vincent. Why are they tied up? What's going on here? Oh, is that why you didn't gag them as well? You wanted to talk?
Hey, it's just like I said. I was right outside your house when I ran into my old friend here, Eric.
We're not friends, Corsetti.
We ran into each other and caught up on old times. You see, he's been watching me. But what he didn't know is that I've been watching him too. Today was supposed to be the big revelation, wasn't it, Eric? It still is, but not quite in the way you were hoping.
Why don't we start by revealing what made Vincent Corsetti lose his mind? I don't know what you're talking about, Vincent. I know everything now. There's nothing you can't tell me that I haven't already figured out on my own.
There are people who want you to think of me as a bad guy. Someone who shouldn't be trusted under any circumstances. But they're wrong. Dead wrong. Tonight, you're gonna find out who the men in this room really are. And by the end of the evening, you're going to make a choice. You're gonna pick the man you want to spend the rest of your life with.
What?
Of course, if you decide that you want me sooner than that, I'll understand. Why don't you start out by asking a couple of questions? See what everyone here has to tell you.
This is really weird.
In case you're tempted to try anything funny, I've cut your phone line and disabled your computer. And don't be stupid and try to run off. I've got eyes in the back of my head. I've got a guy just outside keeping a close watch on the place. No one's getting in or out unless I say so.
I'll do whatever it takes to see to it that no one gets hurt, but I'm not sure what you want from me. Is all this really necessary, Vincent? Can't you just untie them so we can talk like normal adults? Come on, Vincent. What could they possibly have to tell me that I don't know already?
Trust me, there's a lot you don't know about the men sitting in this room. Ask them whatever you want. Given the circumstances, it's in their best interest to answer honestly.
Eric, what would you do for me if we walked out of this house together? What would our life be like? Vinny, let's say I choose you over these other 2 guys. What would our life be like? Lance Bass, what kind of life should I expect if I choose to stay with you?
Well, you could expect me to make an honest living, provide you with everything you need and some of the things you want. I'd be home every night in time for family dinner, and I'd treat you like you deserve to be treated, with respect.
Aww.
On a federal agent's salary, I wouldn't be able to hire anyone to take care of the housekeeping. But on the other hand, I can guarantee you I'll never hire anyone to take care of you, like Corsetti did once upon a time.
I don't need anyone to take care of me. I'm doing just fine on my own. I'm not that old, you know. I can take care of myself, thank you very much. Excuse me, what was that last part?
Don't pay any attention to him. He'll say whatever he thinks he needs to in order to save his sorry hide.
Vinny's the one you shouldn't listen to, Mary. He doesn't want you to remember what he did to you, because if you did, you wouldn't have anything to do with him.
All right, that's enough out of you, Larson. Zip it.
Thanks, Eric. I wanted to hear what you had to say. Yeah, I've heard more than enough from you for a while.
It was nothing important, trust me.
Alright, well, Vincent, same question. So, Vinny, let's say I choose you over these other guys, what would our life be like?
That's a good question. I see you haven't lost all your smarts. You'll live a life of luxury. I'll see to it that you can have everything you've ever wanted. You'll never have to cook another meal or clean a house ever again.
Well, that's a compelling argument, Vincent. It's nice to know I'll be well taken care of, but I noticed you didn't mention how you treat me. Just now she was saying how she didn't need to be taken care of. Ooh, lots of money and no more mindless housework. I like the sound of that. Lance Bass, same question. Blah, 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 blah.
One thing's for certain. Things need to be different. I'll do whatever you want. Marriage counseling, a family therapist, whatever it takes. I just don't want to lose you. I can't live without you.
That sounds good, but only time will tell if you can actually make good on your promise. I like what I'm hearing, Lance Bass. You know something? I can swear I've heard you say those exact same things to me before. You'll have to forgive me if I don't believe you. Okay, so far I like what I'm hearing, but I'm looking for more specifics.
It sounds like you've gotten some interesting information from everyone in the room. What's your next question?
After all is said and done, if I were to pick you tonight, where would you take me and what would you do together? This is the same thing over and over.
I'd take you down to the local police precinct and have you give a written statement about everything that happened tonight. Why do you ask?
Thanks, Eric. That sounds like a really exciting night. What do we for dessert? You take me to a donut shop? Eric, I was asking to get a better view of what I should expect from you in terms of relationship. Well, yes, I figured that much, but oh well, never mind. Vincent, same question.
I would take you to a little out-of-the-way French restaurant I know of that makes the best creme brulee you'll ever have. After that, we'll head back to my estate, open a bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon, and let things progress naturally.
So let me get this straight. Your plan for the evening is to fill me up with dessert, get me intoxicated, and see what happens? Sounds like fun. Vincent, that sounds like a wonderful evening. Oh, come on, Vincent. A little cliche for you, isn't it? I think you can do better than that. Lance Bass, same question.
If? There's an if? I'm your husband. Love, honor, and obey. Did you forget that little part?
Actually, there's a lot to consider, whether she knows it or not.
Vincent, don't get don't get ahead of yourself. I'm merely complying with the demands of a gun-toting madman. I know how you feel, but if we do what Vincent asks of us, he's more likely to let us go on with our lives. Yes, Vinny's right. I'm just considering all my options. With everything I've heard tonight, I'm kind of wondering how much of it was the truth, which begs the question.
You've got a lot to consider right now, so I'd say we're just about finished. Do you have any final questions for us?
Eric, is there anything you want to say? Something you've done in the past that you'd like to get off your chest? Is there something dishonest you did in the past that you want to tell me about? Is there anything you haven't been completely honest with me about in the past that you want to tell me about now?
Sorry to disappoint you, but I've told you the truth from day one. Hell, I always tell the truth. It's probably my greatest flaw.
Aww.
The only thing I waited for was the right time to tell you the truth about Vincent, about your past, about everything. And that's also the reason why you saw me leaving the medical office.
Oh, is that why you were at the shopping center? Yeah, I was wondering what you were doing there. So that's why you were so short with me.
I was investigating a hunch. One that explains everything that you can't.
Eric, I'm confused. What can I explain? A hunch about something my husband did? Were you investigating my husband? What hunch was that?
For the past 20 years or so, you've had an acute case of retrograde amnesia. You knew something was wrong, but since your husband was kind enough to fill in all the fabricated details, you were blissfully unaware of that fact.
Come on, Larson. This is the real world, not some soap opera. Next thing you'll be telling us is that she has an evil twin. You'll have to do a lot better than that if you want to get out of here in one piece.
I like how the game actually makes fun of itself.
That's the first sane thing you've said tonight, Vincent. There's no way she has amnesia. It's not medically possible. Don't lie to the woman, Eric.
Of course, neither of these guys are gonna let you believe it, since you discovering the truth isn't exactly in their best interests.
That's enough out of you. If you can't answer the questions honestly, then just keep your mouth shut.
I love how our son is just like watching all this go down.
Me? Come on. What could I possibly know that's worth lying to you about?
I didn't actually say anything about lying. I asked about dishonesty, which makes me wonder. Why don't you start by explaining everything that Eric just told me? Vinny, I was just wondering if there was anything you wanted to come clean about. If there isn't, then forget I even asked.
You know, this is exactly what Larson wants, right? I knew you'd fall into his trap. He'll do whatever it takes to get you on his side, so that he can arrest me on whatever trumped-up charges he comes up with.
And just how is he doing that, Vinny? Considering what's going on right now, I don't think he needs to make up any charges, Vincent. I actually was hoping you'd tell me what Eric meant when he said you had someone taking care of me.
Larson has a whole story concocted that explains everything he wants you to believe. He says that I know you, that he knows you, and that I killed you. Which of course means that I should go to jail, right?
He killed me?
Really convenient how that all works out for him, isn't it? He gets the girl and the collar. It's almost too good to be true, isn't it, Larson?
I don't know, Vincent. This all seems so far-fetched. I hope you're being honest with me. You're right. It is pretty convenient. A little too convenient, if you ask me. It is, but sometimes the most unbelievable stories turn out to be the truth.
No, I've come clean with you about everything. As much as Vincent doesn't want to hear it, there's nothing left to say. However, I will say that Eric over there isn't the saint he makes himself out to be. A little while ago, he barged into my office looking for God knows what. Now, I won't jump to conclusions, even though it seems everyone else here is doing just that. But I will say that he spent a lot of time asking questions about you, as opposed to questions about an actual case, which doesn't seem like fitting behavior for a distinguished federal agent.
I think I know where you're going with that, Lance Bass. I agree with you, Lance Bass. We have been jumping to conclusions a bit, haven't we? I'm really sorry, but I don't know if I can believe you anymore, Lance Bass. Jesus. I kind of feel like I'm gonna go with Eric on this one. Or should I end up with my husband? I'll end up with my husband, why not? Give us a break, Vincent. Haven't we been doing this long enough, or are we done yet? I'm going weary of these questions, Vincent. Just get on with it.
Yeah, that'll have to do. So now's the big decision. Now that you've heard everything, who do you want to spend the rest of your life with?
That's not exactly the kind of decision I can make after asking 3 questions. I'm sorry, Vincent. I'm not sure what I want in my life right now. Don't rush me.
Sweetie, you really should learn how to make up your mind. I don't have all day. And what's more, hey, quit your squirming.
Huh?
Alright, I've got something I need you to do. Go over there and tighten their ropes. I don't want anyone leaving our little soiree before you have a chance to make your decision.
Ugh, fine. You're very demanding, Vincent. That's gonna get very old fast. I'll do it, but only because I don't want anyone to get hurt. Tighten ropes.